welcome back to Gapey's greenhouse. I'm going to try and go over all the peppers in the greenhouse as well as a few other things. So let's start here on the left side where I have all of the sweet peppers. This is the Ramiro, and we have one pod that's just starting to form right here. The flower just died off and the pepper is just starting to show up there. So that's the only pod we have so far coming out on that one, but we have some more flowers that should be potting up soon. And then behind that we have the Corni de Torro Giallo. And this one, I don't know if we have any pods yet on this one. I see some flowers, but I'm not seeing any pods forming yet. This one, the bugs seem to really like there's a lot of damage on the leaves. I'm not sure if it's from the pill bugs or something else, but it's still doing pretty good and has lots of flowers. And then we have a lemon basil as a companion there in the middle, and I also have some dwarf sunflowers along the front here. And then here we have a Ajvarski, and this one also I don't see any pods coming out yet on that one. There's just some flowers just starting to come out there. And some of the leaves are getting kind of curly. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure if that's from aphids or something else, but I have seen some aphids on some of these plants, so that could be what's doing that. And then behind that we have the chocolate sweet, and it's got lots of flowers. And we have some pods forming on that one, and I think that's the biggest pod there. But this one's doing really good. And then we have a large leaf basil in the middle there. And then next to that we have the sweet apple. And this one has some leaf damage on this one as well. And a little bit of leaf wrinkling on some of these too. Oh, there's a pepper pod right there. That's just starting to come out there. And then in front of that we have the Aji Jobito. And I don't think we have any pods yet on this one. This one is also getting some of that leaf curl or leaf wrinkling. And I am looking at these and squishing any aphids that I see. They like to come up here on the very top of the new leaves here, but I think I've squished them all that I could find. But I don't think there's any pods yet on this pepper. And then to the right of that we have the Jimmy Nardello, and I think I saw a pod coming out here today somewhere. Let's see if I can find it again. I'm not sure where it's at, but I think it was hidden in here somewhere. But this one had some aphids. Oh, there it is, I think. Yeah, there's the pod right there. Just a little tiny guy there. And then behind that is the Tesuque. This is one of the ones with the larger pod on it. This one is pretty big there. And we've got a couple of pods forming on there. Another one, and then we've got another one back here. So that one's doing really good. And we have another basil there in the middle. And then next to that is the Relleno. And the Relleno is just starting to get some pods too. You can see that there. There's one there, and I think there's another one right below it, right there. Oh, and there's another one up here at the top. And then in front of that we have the hatch pepper. And this one seems to be getting attacked by aphids the most. I don't think there was any peppers that I could find on this one. But I've been squishing a lot of aphids on this plant, and it's got a lot of the leaf wrinkling here as well. And then below that I also have a lot of ants in this bed, so I put this ant trap here. It has sugar, water, and borax in it, but I just put it in last night and I haven't seen any ants actually going in there, so we'll just leave it in for a few more days and see what happens. And then next to that I have some scallions that overwintered, and I've been harvesting those. There's only a few left, maybe five or six. And then I also have a beer trap, and this is the third beer I've tried. This one is the PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I put that in last night trying to kill the roly-poly or pill bugs, and I'm still not seeing any of them go in there, but I know there's still some around. And then next to that, I have a couple of eggplants. This is the Listara di Gandia. And we've got a big flower that's just forming on the top there. And the aphids have been really going after, oh, you can see there's a bunch of aphids right there. I just killed all the aphids on this plant earlier today, and there's more already. And there's some more there. And then next to that is another eggplant. This is the Cookstown Orange, and it's got some flowers there that were blooming. It put out flowers before the other one, and it's had a lot of aphid damage as well. And then the next to that is the Egyptian walking onions. And I've had these overwintered, and they're just starting to get the bulbs on top now. So I'll probably bring some of these to a plant swap. Here's a big one. And you can plant these little bulbs that form on the top, and it'll create new onions. So I've got quite a few in this bed. They really do multiply. So I need to thin those out. And then I've got a bare spot next to that, and I'm thinking I'm going to plant the cucamelons in that spot over there. And then my one container pepper is the Black Pearl, and we've got some pods forming on this one, and they're purple pods. You can see that there, mostly purple, a little bit of green. And I've got quite a few pods on this plant. There's another one there, another one there. And then on the right side we have a couple of tomatoes. These are determinate varieties. I've got an aroma, which is a paste tomato, and I've got the Carib, which is another determinate variety. And as a companion here, I decided to put a nasturtium. I know aphids really like nasturtiums, so hopefully they'll start getting attracted to that instead of the plants. And then here we have the basil, and if you saw my latest AeroGarden update video, you saw that I repotted this into a pot. So this is actually from the AeroGarden, and it's doing really good here in the greenhouse. And then we have the hot peppers. So this is the Rezha Macedonian, and this has got the biggest pepper so far in the greenhouse. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's just starting to get the kind of the lines, they call it embroidering. And it'll be more prominent as it gets bigger, but I don't expect it to get too much bigger than that. And we've got several pods. There's probably 5 or 6 pods on this plant already. And then behind that we have the Black Cobra. And I don't think there's any pods on this one. We do have flowers, but no pods. And the leaves on this they're kind of fuzzy. They've got kind of weird, different kind of leaves. But they're not black. I think they were supposed to be, but I don't see any black leaves on there. Maybe the peppers will be black. And then we got more basil. And then another companion we have, instead of the sunflower, we have a calendula. This is a strawberry blonde variety, and it's just starting to form some flower heads there. And then we have the California Reaper. This is a peach colored Reaper. And I've had a few flowers that have fallen off on this one, so it hasn't started setting any pods yet. So I'll have to keep an eye on that one. And then behind that we have the white tie. This is the Jay's white tie. And I've got lots of flowers and lots of peppers forming all over this one. The peppers are kind of getting a weird shape. They're like splitting and kind of, I don't know if you could see that. They're kind of just weird. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but definitely different. And then we have a basil. This one's getting attacked by something. A lot of the leaves are chewed up. Okay, and let's go to the next one here. This is the Dorset Naga. So this is one of the contest peppers for the Google Plus community. And I don't see any pods forming on this one, but we do have some flowers forming there. We got another basil. Get around this cilantro. Let me show you the cilantro. So this is cilantro that I'm trying to get to flower, which it is, and I'll be harvesting the coriander off of that. But I have a few of those in the greenhouse. One there, there's one there, and then I have one at the beginning over there. Alright, so let's get back to the peppers. This is the Cheiro de Norte crossed with the golden camo. This is one that I got from a friend on the Pepper Lovers community in Google+, and I don't have any peppers forming on this one yet either, and I have had some flower drop on that one, so we'll see what happens there. And then, so we already covered the Dorset Naga, and we have the MOA red Scotch Bonnet. We have some leaf damage there, and it's just starting to get flowers there, but no pods on that one yet. We also have the MOA yellow Scotch Bonnet, also leaf damage, and no pods on this one yet either. And both of these Scotch Bonnets are contest pepper plants for the Pepper Lovers community. Oh, got some aphids there. So I just squish them with my fingers, just like that, to get rid of them. And then more basil. And then we have the lemon Starrburst. So this is a King Star cross, and I can't remember what the cross is, but I know it's got Scotch Bonnet in it. But it's a really pretty yellow pepper, and we're just starting to get some flowers. No pods forming on it yet that I could see. And then behind that is the Scotch Brain, which is the last of the contest peppers, and it's just now starting to set some flowers there, but it's been the slowest growing one, I think, of the peppers. Then we have a purple opal basil. This is a really pretty basil. And then we have a variegated fish pepper. So this one is a really cool plant. It's got variegated leaves. Not every leaf is variegated, but some of them are, and it seems to be getting more variegated outside here. You can see that one. But I don't think we have any pods forming on that one yet. But we do have some flowering. That's just starting. And behind that is the Ethiopian Brown, and we do have pods on this one. See there's a pod right there, and a pod right here, and we've got a few flowers. Oh, another pod back here. So that one's doing really good. And then the last pepper I have is the Korean Gochu. This is good for making kimchi, so that's why I'm growing 2 of this one. And it's got some, this one has really big pods on it already, but the one behind it is not doing as well. I mean, it's got some flowers, but no pods that are forming yet on that one. So I'm looking forward to making some kimchi this year. And so that covers all the peppers in the greenhouse. Let me show you what I have up here. These are all starts that I'm going to be taking to a plant swap this weekend. We have dill, nasturtium, Swiss chard, some goldini, zucchini, loofah, sweet williams, basil, sunflowers, borage, asters. This is yarrow that I pulled up for the front yard. And these are tomatoes. A lot of these tomatoes were volunteers that I just potted up, and a lot of people don't care because it's a plant swap and they'll take anything. And then we have amaranth, we have orange and red. So those are all for the swap. And then this tray over here is my stuff that I started later. Cabbage. We have a red and a green. And then here's my cucamelons. So they're not quite ready to go in the ground yet. I'm going to give it another week or so. And then this is the amaranth of the leftovers. And then I have a loofah and a goldini zucchini for myself. Then the last pepper I have in here is my Reaper that I overwintered. So I thought it was dead. All the leaves dropped, but it's starting to finally put out some leaves, but it's growing really slow. And it seems to only be growing on one side. This side looks like it's going to be dying off. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get much out of this, but we'll keep growing it and see what happens. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.